What's up, YouTube? It's your girl China. So, this is my first week into yoga teacher training. Full transparency, I didn't fully read what I was signing up for. Apparently, I'm taking a 200 hour for Baptiste power yoga. I didn't know that. I also didn't know who Baron Baptiste was before I signed up for this class. Anywho, I'm curious what all of your thoughts are. I've been practicing yoga for about the last 10 years, and I really picked it up consistently into like an everyday practice. I'd say within the last 4 or so. Um so I had been very interested in signing up to be a teacher and just getting some hours. And I recognize that there are so many different styles and flavors of it. Like yoga is a lifestyle. There's obviously the philosophy and the principles that um, build into the larger overarching structure of yoga, if that's what you want to call it. But specifically, Baptiste Power Yoga is something that's new to me. So the studio that I signed up for the class through teaches hot yoga classes. And so I started going about a month ago just to get a feel for the studio since I knew that I was going to be taking the class there. And once we fully got the course syllabus, honestly, this wasn't laid out very well. I'm going to be transparent. But once we got the class syllabus, I found out that all of my classes are hot power yoga classes. Keep in mind, I've only been doing hot power yoga for the last month, and it is very, very new to me adjusting to the heat and even being in a studio environment. Traditionally, I would do like YouTube videos, community classes, and like the park or at the Y or in like a community center. It's been very rare that I have stepped into a studio. In fact, I think I've only been in like 2 or 3. So one, finding out that this is all hot power yoga, kind of took me by surprise. But I'm powerful. I'm ready for it. That doesn't scare me. I ain't gonna lie, this first week was a little hard. I'm a little tired, but we pushed through because we're powerful, right? Anywho, Journey into the Power of Yoga by Baron Baptiste is one of the books that we are reading in the class. And as we recently covered the 8 limbs of yoga, one that in particular came up was in the yamas, and one of the yamas is to aparigraha, is neutralizing the desire to acquire and hoard wealth. Power yoga or Baptiste power yoga is extremely popular in the States. I learned that Baron Baptiste's family is actually one of the key families that kind of popularized what we see as yoga today in the West. And others in the course with me were already aware of this. Me, I did not. I do not really follow individual people to that degree. I think it can really teeter on the line of like culty kind of vibes, or even start to feed into how people view celebrities and have those parasocial relationships. So I really don't have set figures that are influential people in the world that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's who I aspire to be. So I recognize the flaw within human, man, women, whatever. And the more I'm learning about this Baron Baptiste guy, I'm like, what the heck? So, first, I'm glad that the studio that I'm going to acknowledges the allegations against this man. However, some of the people teaching the class, they did learn under him, and they said, recognizing that he has these allegations, they never witnessed anything particularly. Nothing was ever done to them per se. They enjoyed their trainings, and they've kind of left it at that. But also, and I won't say they left it at that. They also acknowledged the allegations that have come out against him and this particular style of yoga and the way that he initially taught it years ago. Keep in mind, he's still alive. I know this. But the more I learn about this man, I'm like, okay, what the hell have I signed up for? Um, I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I'd love to hear more about what people think about the Baptiste power sequence. I started listening to this podcast, and I'm going to go back to finish it. And it is about cults. And there were a few teachers who were a part of a lot of his Baron Baptiste's initial teacher trainings, like something hot to lead, power to lead, something along the lines of that, and like the base level courses 1, 2, 3, whatever. And they really talk about how he broke down the mind physically and the ethical boundaries that he pushed, especially when it comes to the principle of inquiry, which is supposed to be one of the core principles. Like it's possibility, empowerment, and inquiry. I think those were the physicalness, possibility, and empowerment. But as part of the practices and as part of the niyamas and one of the eight limbs of yoga, inquiry, it ties into that and is one of the main techniques that he uses in his particular style of yoga. And the way that he would push people with the questions he would offer up in inquiry to make them second guess themselves, and in the end kind of see him as the one all be all leader, which to me gives cult. So I don't know. Have any of you gone through hot power yoga training instructions? How'd it go? What did you think? So far, I'm enjoying the things that I'm learning, and I'm glad that we've covered this in week one. So now, you know, I'm able to look at the material, keeping all of these things and these nuances and things in mind when it as it relates to the person who created this sequence. But I am curious about the effects that it has had if you are a hot power yogi. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been taking it for the last month and I feel great. I like the sequence. But now that I'm learning about the guy who made it, I feel away. I feel away. So let me know what you think.